Hi, welcome to the editing and post-processing section of this ebook. In this part, we'll be learning how to use Picasa, which is a very good software for beginners. So let's get started. All you have to do is, once you've downloaded and installed Picasa, you'll see a screen like this when you open the file. And what you have to do is just go to File and click on Add File to Picasa. That's what you do when you have to open an image. And from the folder that you've downloaded, which contains all the images for editing, select the image called Bird. So that's the first image that we'll be using in Picasa. So once you do that, you'll see it come here and just double click on it and you'll see the image come up ready to go. So how it works in Picasa is that you'll see some panels here on the left and they'll have a lot of options, each of these panels. So you don't have to really know all the functions here. I'll just be going through some of the very important ones, and those are very few, just around 7 to 8 of these, including all the panels. So let's get started. So you can see this is an image of a bird against a blurred background, and it just looks too hazy and the bird is too far away. So let's get started with some basic editing. So on the first panel, only 3 to 4 functions are important. First of these is the crop function. So cropping is a great way to just get the subject close to us, give it a composition. So maybe if I want to give it a rule of thirds composition, as you learned in the ebook, maybe I can do it like this. But since we also learned in rule of thirds that when the background is similar or symmetrical, we can give it a central composition. So I'll go with that. And you can see the moment I do that, it immediately, just one function immediately changes the image completely. It got the bird closer to us, and within a few seconds we've immediately got a much better image. Next is straightening, which is more useful in landscape like images, as we'll be seeing in the second video, but maybe in case you want to straighten the image a bit here, you can. So let's do that. Now the next option is called I'm feeling lucky. Now this is a very important function. What this does is that it corrects any exposure, contrast or color problems that your image might have just by pressing this one button. So you don't have to do anything manually. Just press this button and it'll fix a lot of things automatically. So let's just see how this works. If I just click on it, you'll see that it's changed the image and just made it look much sharper. The contrast is better, the colors have improved, but as the name suggests, this always does not work. So you just have to see if you're lucky or not. Just press this button and see. Most of the times it does do a pretty decent job. So once you've done this, and if it's worked for you, great. But if it's not, what you can do is, now none of the functions here are really of any importance. So what you can do is just go on to the next panel, which is about manually correcting some things. So let's say if the I'm feeling lucky button has left it slightly underexposed, maybe just very slightly. So what you can do is you can use this first slider here, which is called fill light, which is nothing but your brightness slider. So if I just do this, you'll see the brightness go up a bit. So this looks much better now. The next two functions you don't have to worry about right now. This will be taken care of when we learn Photoshop. Just go on to the next one, which is color temperature. This is, if you just drag it to the right side, it just makes the image warmer. So you can see the colors are becoming much more warm. And if you drag it to the left side, it just makes it cooler. So this is totally subjective. You can go whichever way you want. I normally like to make my wildlife and even portrait images slightly warmer, like this. So in case you've had any color balance issues when you were taking the shot, you must have gone through the color balance chapter. So you can also correct it from here. So that these days is not absolutely 100% necessary that you should get it right from the camera, because you can do a lot of things here. So maybe let's say you got a very cool looking image, with a very cooler temperature like this, and it was looking too bluish. What you can do is you can just drag it to the right and make it warm. So you can correct the color balance in editing. So let's just make it slightly warmer. And then in the third panel, we have some very basic effects like black and white, another form of black and white called sepia. So none of these are really working here, so I won't do that. Rest of the options not really necessary. Fourth panel is almost of no use to us, so you can just ignore it. Fifth panel also, there's just one option which is of any use, which is called vignetting, which is just making the surroundings darker. So we can use it or not. It's totally up to you. If you want to use it, just click on the function and just click on apply. We'll be using this in the portrait when we edit a portrait image in the third video of Picasa. So let's leave it for this one. It's totally up to you. If you want to do it, you can. But you can see within just a few seconds, we've gone from, if I keep undoing, you'll see how the original was. We've gone from this in a matter of seconds to this. So you can see there's a hell lot of difference between two images. So editing is very necessary. I'll see you in the second part where we learn how to edit landscape like images.